Hello, team. It is Tuesday, and I'm just living the dream in the most unbelievably complex way I possibly can. Because how can someone say that if their baby has died? Here's why I'm going to say that. No, it was not my dream to have my first baby die. Are you fucking kidding me? I'm not a lunatic. But when he died, I then dreamed of having living babies. I dreamed of having an intact family here on earth, and I have that now. So I am actually living a dream of mine. I mean, I don't even know if I can explain that to many people, but I think you guys get that. Like, I'm currently living in what I always hoped for. While I hate that my first son is here. So, like, the and life is like such a bitch because how do you tell people, like, I'm grieving, I'm mourning, I'm sad. I hate that this is the path my life took, but I'm also weirdly okay, fine, happy, and good with it right now. I will say though, like, fucking A, man, parenting is tough. Parenting dead ones is obviously horrible and tough. Parenting toddlers is really hard. I've got a 3-year old and an almost 2-year old, and they're always sick. Well, what is that? What is that? What I was the mom who, like, well, first of all, my first living was in the NICU for 5 weeks. So it's like I knew how to wash my fucking hands. Like I knew how to sterilize. I knew how to do all that stuff. We like put a freaking water filter on the entire house because I was like, I didn't want him touching like nasty water. Okay. Everything was clean. It fell on the floor. No way. Now I saw my son lick a swing set. And I was like, okay, here we are. Whatever. Did you drop that lollipop into the sand? Okay. All right. Whatever. Um, we are a shoeless house. I never thought in a million years I would be that, but we are. We try to be. And that's strictly because my children eat shit off the floor. I sound like I have animals. I do. They're feral. But that's how this is. And here's the thing. I'm a mom of feral toddlers. I'm allowed to say that. It's not complaining. Probably would not have said that or thought I would ever complain. I'm not complaining. It is accurate. And they're exhausting me. But here's the thing. So my parenting, we went to Florida this past weekend. Every year in June, we go and be with family and extended family. So I have a sister. She has a family. My parents are still with us. I have a little brother. He has a girlfriend. Like, so we all met up at Ponte Vedra Beach or Jack's Beach. There's a fine line between the two. And then all my aunts are there. My cousins came in from other cities with their kids. This is just a thing because there's 47 birthdays in the month of June. So we all meet for a week to be together. And I think it's great. We didn't go the whole week. We only went Thursday to Sunday because my kids are a lot right now. Like they are. Like they won't eat the dinners that we serve and I have to pack that. And we were staying in a house down the street from the whole family. So it's like we have to pack up all their shit and bring it over. And then when they start having meltdowns, my family didn't serve dinner till like 9 o'clock. Like, I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's cultural. I don't know. But like 9 o'clock. My kid's bedtime, if I'm lucky, is 8:30. 9. And then like I'm like, we gotta go. They're about to melt down. And everyone's drinking and stuff. So, it was a lot. But it was wonderful to be with everybody. Trey got really sick Friday. The first day in. Not really sick, but it was like a low grade temperature. And I was like, oh crap, here we go. And then by Saturday night, he had gotten a rash and like I had to go to urgent care in Jacksonville at like 8 o'clock at night. And I was like, what is going on? So long story long, finally saw the pediatrician this morning. Pediatrician I absolutely love. finally nailed down what he had. We had seen an urgent care doctor in Jacksonville who claimed he knew pediatrics. That was bullshit. Then we saw urgent care CHOA, which is Children's Hospital of Atlanta, which I go to because it's closer than the pediatrician and they can get me in faster. It's near our house. We went to that one and that doctor said one thing. And then go to my pediatricians, and the nurse practitioner brings the other doctor in, and they're like, it's none of those things. Like, this is what's happening here. A very benign, mild virus that's coming out as a rash. Period. Like, that's it. Like, it's not something crazy. And I was like, well, first of all, thank God. Because some of y'all, I posted this on my stories, I think yesterday, and some of y'all were messaging like, oh my God, I spiraled over eczema. And then someone was like, oh my God, I spiraled over like 100-degree fever. And I'm like, but it's not a fever and it's not eczema. It is the end of the world. And we're in our heads going, first of all, are they going to die? Second, is this an underlying issue that I'm missing where they're going to die later? Or are they miserable? Are they suffering and they can't tell us and I don't know what to do? Or did I cause this? Is this something in the house? Did I put them somewhere where they got this and I shouldn't have? Like, dude, the mental gymnastics should be documented because I will tell you this. He was inconsolable, screaming, kicking, crying. I've never seen Trey like this in my whole life. He is super chill. We went to the urgent care. The doctor looked at me and was like, If you're watching on YouTube. Actually, I think there was something seriously wrong with the fella because he'd made no facial expressions. So it was more like, allergic reaction. I'm like, what? Okay. What do we do? You know? And then, but like, he was like, we're going to give him a steroid shot. And my brain, oh my God, wait, hold on. I gotta chat GPT. I gotta ask my lost mom friends. I gotta find out if this could kill him. Like, and then they were trying to get his weight and they did it by me holding him, me standing on the scale, then subtracting my weight. And I was like, oh my God, what if they give him too much of a dose because they miscalculated his weight? Like, holy shit. I melted down fully. But this was after 2 nights of no sleeping, so I melted down. My dad was there. My dad was like, I knew you were going to do this, but are you okay? And because my brain in that split second looking at him was like, I don't know if I should say yes or not. I don't know. So then he left and I'm screaming. He comes back in. He gives me some lip. I'm like, listen, doc, I have medical trauma and I need you to explain this to me like I'm in kindergarten so I can make an educated, well-advised decision. What are the risks of this? What are the risks if I do it? What are the risks if I don't? What do you think is happening here? What do you think would happen if we don't do this? What do you think will happen if we do? Spell it out for me, please. And once I said the word medical trauma, I think he kind of calmed his tits a little bit. And I was nice. I was just crying. Is that a t-shirt line somewhere? Like nice, but cries a lot. But I just was like, dude, you don't understand. Like, I'm a mom who needs every single piece of information because my brain goes to that mom that I talked to on Instagram whose baby passed or infant passed after being given this. And then I talked to that other mom who said that it was life-saving measures because they were having anaphylaxis or whatever the hell ending to that word should be. I was like going over and over and over all these things and it affects me. I know a lot. And then it just got me thinking like, and if you're not a parent after loss or like if you're not parenting after loss right now, like let's take that part out. The way that we operate and making decisions is different now. When it comes to parenting, overprotective parents is a word. Helicopter parent is a word. That's a massive thing and it's usually thrown with some shade, okay? To me, I would not call myself overprotective. Oh, let's even say hypervigilant. I don't even know if I would do that. If it's not talking about parenting, let's talk about something else. Maybe it's with your partner or a loved one or something. Like, I wouldn't even call it that. I would just call it aware. I am aware. I parent from aware. I make decisions from aware. I treat people from aware because I am in a position now where I was the very rare statistic and I am extremely aware of what could happen. First of all, I'm aware that it could happen. Something could happen, but I'm also aware of what it could be. To me, being overprotective or maybe hypervigilant isn't the word, but being just overboard with your, maybe call it obsessive, typically would imply that you don't know what could happen. You are just trying to avoid anything and everything from happening. And that's not the case. I am not coming from an irrational fear. I am not coming from an irrational perspective or standpoint. It's very rational, to be quite honest with you, because I actually have specifics that I know could happen. I literally just listed them. The weight thing, the risks of what would happen if I didn't do it. Like, I've seen throat closures and choking, and I've seen drownings, and I've seen crazy stories that you don't think you would ever hear about. I have put myself in this position, and I'm not removing myself from this position, but it is affecting my parenting. Now, when you are super aware, I do think it brings an element of fear, 100%. But at some point, I cannot parent from fear. I just have to parent from awareness. And I hope that makes sense. We can't move through life from fear. We just have to move through life with awareness. And that should make sense. I am aware that other people are struggling with things that we can't see. I am aware that baby loss happens every single day. I am aware that healthy babies can die in the womb. I am aware that freak accidents can happen at any time, at any place. I'm aware. Where the fear would come in would mean I would stop doing things because I'm aware. That hasn't happened yet. I'm still trying to proceed through life without stopping myself from living because of the fear that comes from awareness. That's the goal right now. Now, it's tough because I have basically Johnny Knoxville and Bam Margera as sons. That is a Jackass reference from the early 2000s, and if you don't know it, look it up because they are iconic. They like to hurl themselves off of the couch, traded a forward flip literally off the kitchen table and landed on his back on the floor the other day. Like, there's no fear. They feed off each other. They beat the crap out of each other if I don't catch them in time. They're punching each other. I saw somebody straight open palm slap the other yesterday. I was like, what's happening? I come from having a sister close in age, and then my brother's 8 years younger. So I don't know what I'm doing, but whatever, it is what it is. And so, like, when I tell you I am constantly thinking 3 steps or 3 seconds into the future of what could happen. If Wolfie shoves Trey too hard and he falls into the cement mantle or the cement hearth, whatever, in front of our fireplace and bangs his head, we're looking at a concussion, death. Like, if somebody jumps off the couch and lands on their neck, death. Like, I'm thinking literally that far ahead in the future at all hours of the day. My husband doesn't think like that. I'm not even sure moms without loss think like that. I don't know how many accidents or deaths or trips to the ER I have thwarted, but I can't, I will literally, and I feel like I've talked about this before, if I glance and I see something that could potentially be stepped on, and then I walk a few steps, I will turn around and go back and move it because I don't want to be like, I should have moved it. I regret I should have moved it. If I see like scissors hovering a little too close to the edge of the counter, immediately push them. If the handle of the stove that's not even on, of the pot on the stove, it's not even on, it's slightly push it to the back. Like, I'm consistently like, oh shit, hazard, danger. But at the same time, I don't want to put my children in bubble wrap. I want them to fly off the couch and hurt themselves and learn, you fuck around, you find out. I want them to slap each other. I want them to be boys and be kids and not try to control them so much that I'm putting fear of life in them. I just want to make them aware. Do you think you might get hurt? Do you think you might fall? That's where I'm going with this. Like, not get down. It's more like, you might fall. You might fall if you do that. And typically they're like, well, I don't want to fall. So then they'll get their ass down, So it's really a fine art. And I haven't read shit about this. Is there anything out there written from this standpoint of parenting after the death of a baby or a child? Maybe. Somebody message me with it, because this is an art form. And I refuse to take the title of overprotective or obsessive. I refuse. I'm actually empowering myself and harnessing the word aware, painfully aware, unwantingly aware. I don't want to know. I don't know all the shit out there. There are things that I have seen and that I know that I, where you go, holy shit. Some are preventable, some aren't. Some you try to make preventable to make yourself feel better because your brain wants to have some control and thinking this will never happen again because the first time it was preventable, but and then there's some things that just aren't. And I am scared. I'm scared a lot. I think I'd rather use the word scared than fear, because fear would imply that, again, like I am not doing anything, like I'm not going to do it, or like maybe I am doing it cautiously. My biggest fear happened. My next biggest fear, I pray to God and I cross my fingers and I ask the universe, I hope never, ever, ever does. But y'all, ponder, if you will, being aware from experiencing one of the most horrific tragedies of stillbirth or infant loss that you can have. Would you call it a gift or a curse? Would you call it a blessing or a burden? I think it just really depends on where it's being applied. Like, I act out sometimes because I'm coming from a place of frustration, from trauma and grief, and just sick of pain. I'm just sick of pain. I'm sick of feeling pain, emotional pain, the kind of emotional pain that gives you physical pain. And sometimes I lash out. Sometimes I'm in a really horrific mood. I'm also, a fucking psychopath in my luteal phase. So it's like, sometimes I'm an asshole. I don't mean to be, but sometimes I am. And I know where it's coming from, though. I know, okay, I didn't sleep last night. I had a really bad dream about Brody. I'm really pissed off he's not fucking here today. And now I got to deal with that, They're short-lived. They're not all day, every day. They're just moments, But now, so like whenever anybody's a dick to me, I'm like, who hurt you? What are you going through? Is this insecurities? Do you have a partner that just ignores you? Do you have a dead child? Are you sick? Is your mom sick? Like, what? Something maybe is just going on with you that is activating you. So like, you could yell in my face and I would literally just be staring at you like, why are you like this? What happened to you? What traumas have you had? I think in the very beginning, after Brody died, I was just like super offended by everybody. Oh, fuck you. Fuck everybody. Oh, you have a baby, a living baby. You could go to hell. You had a nice, easy birth with a living child. Fuck you. You suck. I was pissed. Sometimes I was thinking in my head, but like, I don't really react like I used to. But like, now I'm just like, what do you got going on? Everyone's got trauma. What's yours? I think that's why I hate small talk, because I want to know. I want to know if you have a therapist and what you guys talk about, why you're there. I have never been like this in my life. You guys, I have always been the most private person. I was in a super shitty relationship from age 19 to 30. Yeah, long story. I think I said the word toxic in my book because it was awful. He was a pro athlete and fucking whatever, disaster. I didn't really tell many people what was going on. I didn't really vocalize, like, I am struggling with emotional trauma. Like, it was toxic, it was abusive, it was awful. And so I didn't really know it until I was completely out of it. And then after that, I just was trying to rebuild and make it look like I was fine. So no one knew shit about me, especially on the internet, And now I can't shut up. I don't know how to shut up about the struggles that we experience. I also don't know how to shut up about the beauty we experience. I don't know how to shut up about the imperfectness that is our lives after baby death. I can't shut up about how this happened, the magnitude of it, the pain that follows. I can't. I don't know how to shut up about baby loss for the life of me. And even not just baby loss, traumatic grief, devastation, rebuilding after. Because I think it's important that we do talk about these things. This is in our blood now. This is who we are now. No, I'm not identifying with grief, and I'm not identifying with loss, and I'm not identifying with pain and suffering and trauma. I'm not saying that's my entire identity. I'm just saying that it has a really good, strong hand in who I am right now. And not always in a bad way. Mostly in a good. Mostly in a good. Can you believe that? 4.5 years out, and I can say that? Mostly in a good way. Like, the reason I was so emotional after leaving my family this past weekend, when Trey got sick, I had to stay home, and I didn't get to really see anybody. You know where my head did? What if I lose a family member in the next year and they're not there next year and I missed out? Like, that's where I'm at. Not, I didn't get to drink and party and with everybody. It was more like I didn't get to spend time with loved ones. Yeah, I'm a basket, man. But I'm getting better. I'm getting better with time and lived experiences. And again, I've told you guys this, time's not healing me, right? Time is giving me a chance to heal from the things that hurt. And it's allowing me how to figure this out day to day. And if you've noticed on my Instagram, I've been posting, and my TikTok, I'm getting better at TikTok, you guys. And a lot of people have found me through TikTok, so I'm happy. Maybe I post in ghost, though. I don't know. Maybe I don't answer comments. I don't know. I'm scared, but I will. But I've been posting some lost life lately because this is my healing. Look, I bought myself a new iced thing, and it's got strawberries on it. My little iced glass, it's got strawberries on it because Brody loves strawberries. We ate strawberries every morning, and he would dance around my belly. That was our breakfast. And so now I get to think of him in the morning when I have my coffee. And he's still in my day-to-day, you guys. Still in my day-to-day. And that's okay, and that's allowed, dude. Like, at this point, do what you need. Do whatever you need. Did I look at the pediatrician today and be like, I have a son that was stillborn, like, so I'm No, didn't even cross my mind. Can you believe that? Because it was Trey's focus. Trey needed me. Trey still needs me. Trey has needed me since Friday. I think that this is healthy. I haven't seen my therapist in 2 months just because of timing and shit. I got to get on her couch. Just to make sure I'm doing this right. But I think I am because it feels right. It feels right. And do I spiral? 100%. Have I spiraled recently? Yes. Will I spiral again? Of course. This is just how we roll because the unthinkable happened to us. That used to infuriate me. The rage I felt over that fact alone used to fully send me into another dimension. The rage that I felt after Birdie died, that this is what I had to deal with for the rest of my life, I was crippled by the rage. I was so mad. Don't get me wrong. I am still incredibly angry that this happened. I still, literally to this day, can barely speak about my prenatal experience at my former OB. I still cannot do it because I get so angry. Like, I'm on like this mom group, this Atlanta mom group or whatever. It's not even Atlanta mom. It's like Brookhaven, Buckhead. And my former OB sometimes comes up, which I had to eliminate from my book, the name, because they didn't want me to get sued. So that's why I don't mention them. But when they do come up, I get like bright red in my face. I get really like anxious. Like I don't, I hate them. But anyway, I don't feel the fire burning rage that I used to in the overall general sense towards life and the universe and God. Yes, I get very mad that he's dead, and I get very mad that this happened. But it's not all consuming much anymore because I'm trying to take the gifts that I've received from this fucking shit show and turn it into something good. I think I'm doing it. But I could see where it'd be confusing for moms in the first year to see me dancing around going to friggin' Hobby Lobby. What am I talking about? I've never fucking been to Hobby Lobby in my life. TJ Maxx, Home Goods, and be like, what's this bitch? Like, what's up with her? How's she doing this? Well, it's been 4.5 years. What else am I going to do, you guys? You got a choice here. And that's when people's like, I had no choice but to survive. That's actually bullshit. Because you could have rolled over. You could have just never gotten up. You could still be a dickhead. You could just told everybody in your entire life to suck it. You could just have completely lived in rage and suffering and bitterness and envy and jealousy and let it all consume you until you are a complete shell of a human being and cannot function in this world with any joy or happiness whatsoever. No willpower to maybe try to expand your family or be a good partner or anything contributing to friendships or family. You could have done that. And I'm assuming you did it because you're listening to this, because most people who listen to this are looking for light. But you survived it by choosing to survive it. And by surviving, that means you're able to live your life. Live your life and make it worth living. That's what I talked about in the last episode, okay? You had a choice. You chose to survive it, okay? You're still here. Now, how do you want that to look? How do you want that to feel? And sometimes we could say, well, I don't want any of this. Okay, you're right. We don't. We don't want a dead baby. We don't want this life being the mother of one. Okay, so what do you need? What do you need? What do you need to get up in the morning? What do you need to float your boat? And that's why unapologetic grieving is where it's at. Because you cannot create a life around this shit that you think other people will agree with or understand, because they will not. Not everybody will. Those aren't your people, one. And two, fuck them. I'm just kidding. It's more like, what do you need? And you don't need to explain it to anybody else. And that's what I realized. Like, I used to think my friendships were going to carry me through this life. I used to think, even lost mom friendships, okay, they don't. I don't need them to carry my grief. I don't need them to dig me out of the dark anymore, because I know how to do that myself. What I need my friends to do is to make this life more fun. Yeah, cocktails, silly jokes, listen to me bitch, putting me in my place if I need to, because I love to learn, you know. It's just more like, help me enhance my life experience now. That's it. And you know where the heavy burden and the heavy carrying comes from? My husband. And maybe my sister if she's lucky. But that's it. Like, you're a close family unit. Friends are just, can't put too much expectations on people. We really can't. And I guess that's maybe me navigating life just super aware. I'm super aware. I'm so aware, it's annoying. Yeah. This is where we're at. I'm aware that I am the way that I am. And I'm aware of what I need, but I also need to be aware of my expectations on people. Because I will tell you this, my expectations for lost moms was way too high. It was. And so after Wolfie got out of the NICU, I vowed, I was like, I cannot rest my needs and anything on anybody. Sure, I want friends to kind of show up and I want friends to support 100%, but I can't rest or have expectations, too high expectations. Otherwise, I'm going to be disappointed by literally everybody. I just need to take these friendships for what they are. And my therapist told me that, because I'm like toying with like, do I repair relationships? And I'm going to talk about this in more depth in another episode. Like, do I repair relationships that I, told to kick bricks like years ago, when Bertie died? And to her point, she was basically like, maybe sometimes you just need people to rip shots with. She didn't say that, but she alluded to that. Maybe you just need friends to rip shots with and talk shit and beat a dead horse with. And I was just like, at the time, was like, no. I need more supportive friends like this that I can cry on. And I had that. I just don't think I need that anymore. I just don't think I need that anymore. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. And now it's ever changing. Because being aware means whenever a new thing comes into your life, you have to look at it from the lens that you now see through, which is one tainted with loss. I had a psychiatrist say that was like super unhealthy. And I was like, bitch, what else? How else do you want me to look through these glasses? What do you mean? Okay, then you tell me this. I'm standing in front of somebody and they're having a really shitty day because they stubbed their toe and their dog shit in their apartment. And then they tell me everything happens for a reason. I'm like, bitch, you live some fucking life, and then you tell me if you still believe that. No, what are you talking about? I was in a church group, and the woman said that her bladder was full. I don't even. She said her daughter was running late for work, and she had to pee, so she didn't have time to stop and pee. So she prayed to God that she wouldn't pee her pants, and she didn't pee her pants. So thank you, God. I'm like, I'm not pretty sure that's not how this goes, because I've pissed my pants in my car before. I have. I peed all over my car because I was in traffic for hours and there was no getting out of my car on the highway coming home from emceeing a Marlins game in Miami. Pretty sure that's not how this works. So I was like, yeah. So what is my reaction then? My reaction to her, I'm my perspective of these comments is coming from the fact that I've been through it. That is a lens from loss. Hello. Do you ever just sit back and you go like whether it's a therapist or a medical professional, and you just kind of look and you go to yourself, because I don't know if you say this out loud, but like, do I know more than you? do I have a medical degree? Do I need you? Are you making this worse? Like, I have never. I was at the pediatric urgent care with Trey, and they told me that they think his rash was something, and I took one look and I was like, that's not what this is. That's not that. This isn't that. And then lo and behold, I go see my pediatrician, and she's like, yeah, no, that's crap. That's not what this is. What? You are an urgent care doctor, pediatric doctor, and you fucked that up? And I was right. What's happening? That's another thing. Awareness makes us also like want to be more aware. So like if we don't know the answer to something, we will find out. Do you know how many pictures I looked at on Google search images because I was like, what is this rash? And it was like, by the time I'd gotten to the doctor, I knew what it was. So my point is, like, if I don't know something, I will find out. I will make myself more aware. And I was talking to another lost mom about that. She's pregnant after a loss, and she was like, I got to get off the internet, because the more I research, the more I Google about something I don't know about, the more hyper aware I've become of what could go wrong. But for me, I'm like, well, you're aware of what could actually go right if you pay attention to certain things, the signs. So, awareness, we can make ourselves crazy. We absolutely can. But as long as you understand that, like as long as you understand, hey, there's such thing as maybe too much information, but hey, you'd rather have too much than not enough, because that's where I'm coming from. I had zero information about stillbirth. Therefore, Birdie's dead. And I never want that to happen again. And guess why my 2 livings are here? Because I learned about how to keep babies alive. Yeah, pretty much. I'm not saying they would have died. I'm just saying, like, I did all the precautionary measures that I should be doing. Anywho, it's like superpower, right? I mean, like, I sometimes wonder what my like suit would look like. I mean, obvi leopard print bodysuit, right? Mm-hmm. Thinking like a hood, like a tight hood, like a ski, no, like what is it? Like a speed skier. Just my face poking out, but then my ears, because I want my earrings to stick out. And then like, I don't think I want ears. I think I just want like maybe a hole at the top so my big ass ponytail can come out, my weave, my extensions. Maybe, gotta cover my eyes, because that's sexy, And then I would obviously learn how to fight crime and fight evil in 6-inch boots. Yeah. This is now starting to sound like some sort of weird dominatrix. Latex leopard print catsuit with a mask and heels. If I added a cape, would that be better? I don't even know. Whatever. Sometimes that makes me laugh. Like, I think of the Lost Mom Army and how we are just ruining days and schooling people on all sorts of life shit constantly. We protect each other, we support each other, we stand up for each other. We are trying to change laws and helping people through bereavement and mental health care issues, and we're just doing the Lord's work here on the ground. And like, sure, maybe we wouldn't wear like actual army print because I like it. I think it's fashionable and it looks dope. Maybe it's like a pink one, camo. What am I talking about? I don't know. But I mean, I didn't talk, and this is another episode, but like I didn't talk much about my miscarriage in actual time, like real life time. I talked about it like 3 months later, but I wish I had because immediately you guys were so supportive. I felt so seen and understood and protected and valued and supported when I was going through the miscarriage. I was like riding solo and just raw dogging the experience, and I regret that. Like I did reach out to a couple other moms, but you guys always, yes, sure. Sometimes people don't like what I say or want me to elaborate more on something that I'm unwilling to speak about. And I, can't make everyone happy in as much as I've tried, but people disagree with me and that's fine. But like all in all, you guys get it, and that's really important. And knowing that we're there for each other is helpful. Again, there was an ad in the beginning of this, but if you have not been on lostlink.com, definitely try it if you're looking for your lost posse. I need some help, you guys. I have to get this out there more. There's only so many people I have gotten in touch of. If you know of a hospital or a mental health place or anywhere that you think might be able to give it out for people to find others, like I think it's so necessary and so important to have like that you could search for somebody that you could talk to in real time, in real life. Definitely give them lostlink.com and help me grow this. And it's just important that the database itself has more people on it, and just so that we can, everyone can find each other. Anyway, but yeah, so if you are being told you're overprotective or obsessive, just correct them and say, no, you're just aware. And maybe that they should be too. Turn it on them. Don't you like that? Like, maybe it's something you should look into. I don't know. It depends on who you're talking to. But like, yeah, I really recommend educating yourself so that you are aware as well. Would you like me to educate you? No, I don't talk like that. But you're not overprotective. Maybe, but I think the word is more like you're just super aware. And I'm sorry that you are. It's not fun to be this aware. It sucks. It causes a lot of tears, a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety. I do think, though, that with time, it does get better to navigate. I don't know if it'll ever be easy, but it will get easier to navigate, just like anything we do in this life. So I hope that this has been helpful in validating anything that you're feeling. If you are spiraling over living kids' illnesses and minor things, you are so valid in that. You are absolutely so valid in that. And that's why I'm adamant about finding pediatricians, doctors, whoever it may be, that understand that's how we navigate now. Like that's how we are now. And not that they need to carry our emotional load, but they just need to expect it. Okay? And not be shocked by it. That's it. Because guess what we do? We spiral, and then we get back up and we keep going. That's what we do. Like, I'm going to handle it, but first I'm going to crash out. That's where we're at. And I hope you understand that. And the part that I am most proud of you guys for is the part where you get back up and keep going. Because this is hard. Being in our shoes is hard. It is. Every day, it's hard. We don't get a break from this. Especially if you're trying to be a good mom to living babies, you're breaking your neck to do so. And you're making split-second decisions all day that are not only founded on the intention of making sure your babies don't get hurt, but also that you're raising good humans. It's hard. But you're doing better than you think you are. Trust me. I'm always here for you guys. You know that. So find me on Instagram, DM me, send me an email, thecatherinelazar@gmail.com if you have any questions. Continuing these podcasts about certain topics that I'm experiencing in this phase of lost life. And of course, if you have a topic in mind that you want me to talk about on here, shoot me an email, thecatherinelazar@gmail.com, and I can get that. Consider talking about it for you. And make sure to get my copy of Stillbirth Survival, my no BS guide to getting through the first year. If you don't need it right now because you have gotten through the first or second year, please forward it to a mama who needs it. It is available on Amazon right now. And I hope that it helps. I hope that all of this helps. And just know that I love you and your babies, and I'm super proud of you, and your babies are proud of you too. You're a great mama. I will see you next time.